check anyway. Well, all right. Welcome back to High Rock Lake. This is where my next BFL is, and I'm just wrapping up practice here. And you know, we kind of got a love-hate relationship with this place. Sometimes the lake loves me, sometimes the lake hates me. I don't know what it thinks about me right now. I've caught a few fish, you know, practicing around this week. Caught a couple of better quality fish. I haven't caught a big one or anything, but place is fishing very random right now. You get a bite here, you get a bite there. Why was that fish there? And you get one bite in that particular location, like no bites, no other bites in that area, like, you know, the same area. It's just like what we're having to do is cover water and junk fish. I mean, like 14 rods on the front deck and just fishing this, fishing that, you know, fishing a laydown, fishing a dock, fishing a rock pile, fishing something offshore, fishing something shallow. There's no rhyme or reason. One thing I do know is, like, we're in a very early summer pattern. Water temperature right now where I'm sitting in Abbott's Creek is 84 degrees. 80 degrees for me signals the beginning of summertime bass fishing. That's when your offshore stuff should start. That's when the true summertime stuff should get going, and that should be what we're doing right now. These fish should be offshore, or at least thinking about it. But I can't get bit out there. Now, I don't have the technology, I don't have active target, but I have a lot of offshore history here, and I've got a lot of waypoints. I just can't get bit out there. I can get bit shallow around some docks, finesse fishing, and I really don't want to do that. I really don't want to. I want to fish with the bait caster, you know, heavy line, big hooks. Let's rock and roll. But I'm having to catch them on a spinning rod. Which is okay, but that's just not my preferred method of fishing here. So, but yeah, BFL tomorrow. We'll see how it shakes out. I'm going to give it all I got, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Let's roll. Gotta cover some more. I couldn't hear you.
But they're flipping over there. Oh, shad.
Bigger than I thought it was. It didn't really hit it, kind of just slurped at it. And it looks like there is shad flickering right up there on the bank, almost like a little shad spawn going on. I ain't seen any of that though. A 2-pounder. Thank you, Lord. He's never got it. Alright, let's make a move. I got another spot. I hate to, hate to leave this caught too, but I've got so much more I want to run this morning. But we're going to come back here later in the day when the sun's up and there's some stumps I can grab. It's right there, and this is where the hatch was the other day. I don't know if it's still going to be happening. You see there's a couple mayflies. So they hatch Wednesday. They live for 24 hours. I don't know how long it takes for more to hatch. There was nothing on Thursday or Friday, so I do see a couple of swimmers flying around the street. Yeah, look at that. Look in front of me. The mayfly hatch. I threw into that tree and shook it. Look what happened. That's cool. Shake these tree limbs, get them falling, we'll come back in 10, 15. Look at that. I don't need to shake the tree. I don't need to shake the tree, but I'm going to shake it anyway. Come back. I'm gonna tell you something. I ain't never done this before, but it's pretty damn cool. That's awesome right there. Mayfly hatch. Look at the brand. Just going haywire. Big freaking mayfly hatch. All right, can you move your rod? All right. He's getting in the boat. Whew. My heart is like 80 miles an hour.
Is that a G-splash? That hurt.
He had it T-boned in his mouth.
That was 5 pounds. I need to dwell on it. Catch a nose.
I've been fishing. I've been fishing with Man, it's taking a drag. What's going on here? Ain't be a bass.
Probably not a big one. Shit out of the way, just let me know. bag, man. Is there a place I can put that bag?
Got that one, baby.
Good job.
He had it hooked worse than the other one. But we got him. Oh my God. That's a high rock tank. One treble hook guy. And that fish was strong. I mean strong. Oh, damn, you want another one? Right on that grass line.
Not grass. Not grass.
That is another damn tank, man. Oh, that's a vibe. Dang, we are on these fish right now.
Sorry.
Just don't move for a second. Hold on. Damn, that might be a 6. Left him. Right where I left that fish. That's exactly where I left that fish. That is practice paying off right there. Alright, you just do what you gotta do down there and make yourself tired. I ain't trying to get a treble hook in. You got me.
Need fair flyers?
No, I just need to be able to get them up. But that is exactly where.
Up towards the front over there.
Exactly where I left that fish on Wednesday. I threw on that spot about 4 times and finally ate it. And I did what I wanted to do. I wanted to catch 2 by 8 o'clock. And I actually got 3 by 8 o'clock. It's like 7:58, I think. It's 3 1/4.
Boy. Any moving thing?
Maybe your bag.
I don't know how big he is. I might flip him. I might have to get
What's that? Might need to get there. Put your bell out. Just let your bell out. Get the scissors, cut that, please.
I'm sorry.
Don't worry, bud. Don't worry. I do this all the time. And that is number 5. Whew. That was crazy. That was crazy.
Enough, it's not.
Listen, I practiced with a guy on Thursday, and he caught one behind me dragging a worm over that, and I put a mark on it. His name was, what was his name? Alvin, I think. Hicks, something Hicks. So I got to give him a shout out, because he caught a dink on that, like a 10-incher. And so that, I put a mark on it, and I've been waiting all day to fish it, and he just helped me get my 5th fish. She swallowed it too, boss. All right, as soon as I get this fish out, we're gonna move. It ain't a big sack, but it's a limit. So that was a fun tournament, right? That was pretty. At least the first 3 hours of the day, it was a pretty fun tournament. Kind of a lot to get in here with this event, but I ended up finishing up the day with 13 pounds, 10 ounces, and in 16th place. But as you can see in the video, I had the opportunity to do a whole lot better than that. And I really feel like I had an opportunity and was around the quality of fish to make a push to really win this tournament. But the freaking Mayfly hatch, that's the first time I've ever been around it. First time I've seen it. I've been fishing since 2013, so that's about 11 years. And first time ever being around it, seeing it. Been fishing High Rock for about 8 years. First time ever seen it there. And I stumbled across it a couple of days before this tournament, 3 days before this tournament actually. And it was there for one day, really only like maybe a little more than a day. I found it on a Wednesday, and then on Thursday and Friday it just completely wasn't there anymore. So I wrote it off. I didn't even talk about it in my intro there, before the tournament started, because I didn't even think that it's something I could have relied on. But come to find out, it started again. And when I found it again on tournament day, it was even thicker, and it was even going on even stronger in several different areas that I found. And so once I found it in practice, I was like, okay, so how do I fish this? What's the best way to go about doing this? And I started doing tons of research pretty quickly about how to fish it and how to go around. And basically what's happening is a big food chain is going on when the Mayfly hatch is coming. So the Mayflies only live about 24 hours. So they'll hatch, and they're big. They're about the size of a 50-cent piece, maybe a little smaller. They're pretty big actual flies. And so they'll live for about 24 hours. And when they hatch, sometimes they'll fall into the water, and obviously that gets the brim going, the crappie going. They'll push up shallow and they'll eat on them, and then the bass will move in shallow too, and either eat the mayflies again because they're plenty big for a bass to eat, or they'll eat the brim that are eating on the mayflies. So a whole food chain reaction kind of happens, And it was just really cool to witness. You could really see the brim just up there attacking the mayflies that had gone into the water, and then obviously the bass were close around too. So just because you found that mayfly hatch didn't always mean you could get bit. It didn't always mean that the bass were there. Because I fished a bunch of it on tournament day, and there was only like 1 or 2 areas where it was really producing, good quality fish at. And so again, super cool to see. Once I found it, I wanted to find a way to get those fish or to get those mayflies in the water. That's why I went up and shook the tree. When I found it in practice, I actually was throwing a frog into the trees and shaking the trees with the frog and then yanking the frog out of the tree. And that would let me know if that was an area that had a mayfly hatch going on or not. Well, I didn't have my frog out on tournament day, so I just said, I'm just going to go up to this tree here and I'm going to shake this limb, and thousands of them came out of that tree. So it was really cool to be around, really cool to see. First time I've ever experienced that. And the plan almost paid off. I mean, like I said, 13 pounds, 10 ounces, but I had the opportunity to do so much better. I lost a 5-pounder right there, had my hands on it, and I know I don't use a net, and I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of you that people saying I should be using a net, but I just prefer not to have one in the boat. I've landed thousands of fish without a net, and I started not using a net about 4 years ago, and it's up until this year. It never cost me a fish, maybe 1, maybe 2, but nothing like it did this year. This year, I think it's cost me about 4. I'm just going to write that off as bad luck. I prefer not to use a net. I don't like having it in the boat, and I'm just not even going to get into it. It's just a personal preference. Did it cost me? Yes. It cost me big time. It cost me money this time. It cost me. So, but it is what it is. You live and learn. You just move on from it. But anyway, I still got a shot at another big one. Right. Soon after that, I caught a 4-pounder. All right. And then while I have a 4-pounder in my hand, weighing it, you can see my Coangler's lure on camera towards the front of the boat, and he sticks a 6, right? He sticks a 6, and not just any old 6. This is the Coangler tournament big fish, and so I land that fish for him there, and went around the corner a little bit, and I stuck another one that was 3 1/4 or so. So I was around some really good fish, and just a great first 3 hours of this tournament, and I had a lot of fun doing it. After that, super tough, just incredibly tough. I have no idea. I accomplished my goal first thing in the morning. I wanted to catch 2 fish by 8 o'clock, right? And then I was like, oh no, okay. After that, if I can do that, if I can catch 2 fish in the first couple hours, which doesn't sound that hard, right? I can just go grind docks all day. I'll go grind docks. I will skip a shaky head under a dock. I'll skip a jig under a dock all day till I run into another 3. Well, I caught 3 fish by 8 o'clock, and then I caught another one at about 9:30. So I had by 9:30, I had 3 fish in the box. I'm sorry, 4 fish in the box. And then from 9:30 to 1:30, I'm talking about a grind, not a bite, not a nibble, not a peck, not anything. I mean, it just completely went dead for me, and I fished a lot of my good stuff. Like everything good I had, everything I rotated through, and I couldn't get bit to save my life. I really had my hopes set on a dock bite. But when I went to go fish docks, there was either guys around the docks or guys that were on the actual dock that I was fishing. So I feel like I was fishing used water where every time I went to fish a row of docks. So I don't know, that dock bite wasn't there for me. I couldn't, and it was super bright. Skies were, it wasn't a cloud in the sky. It was hot. It was just, everything screamed at me to go fish a dock. But finally there at the very end of the day, I started my rotation again. And when I say rotation, I have a series of waypoints I rotate throughout the day. And I started that rotation again. And I finally pulled up to an area where in practice I had a co-angler fishing with me. His name is Alvin. He caught a dink off of this lay down that was probably like 7 foot of water. Didn't think nothing of it at the time, but I did mark it. Every time I catch a fish in practice, I mark it. That way I know, hey, this is a productive area. This is an area that has a, it's a higher percentage area to catch a fish. So I marked it, went to that same spot, kept my distance off of that lay down or that piece of structure, made a fairly long cast to it, didn't want to be close to it, and then a second or two later, donk, on that shaky head. So, and then I was able to somehow land that fish because I wanted to play the fish very, very easily because I just wanted that limit fish. So ran, of course I always run to the back of the boat. I let the fish try to tire themselves off. It's always a lot easier if you're going to land the fish without a net. It's always easier to do it at the back of the boat because the back of the boat is closer to the water. And so that's the way I always do it. But in that process, my line got tangled up with my co-angler's line. And then it got tangled up. It got tangled up with his line that was in the water. Then it got tangled up with the rods that were sitting here. He had, 8 rods or something sitting here. And so he was kind enough because it was wrapped up pretty bad. I just asked him, I said, open your bail. And that didn't fix the issue because I wanted him to let his line out. And I just, but that didn't fix the issue, just letting some slack line get into his line. I don't know if I'm making sense when I say that, but anyway, I wanted him to open his bail up to reduce the tension on the fish because everything was getting wrapped up, and that didn't work. So then I asked him, "Can you please just cut your line?" And he graciously did it. And then it was just a matter of sitting down and then grabbing the fish at that point. So that was crazy. That was a crazy 30 seconds of time there, and I was able to finally put my limit in the boat at 1:30 in the afternoon with about an hour of fish. So the grind paid off there. I would like to say that, a lot of practice paid off there. I stuck a 3 1/4, or I had a 3 1/4 pound. I had a big fish in practice just annihilate a frog, right? And I put a waypoint on it, left it alone, came back to it, went through something with treble hooks over top of his head, and I got him on that one. And who knows if it's the same exact fish, but I do know it's the same exact spot. And I think that was my 3rd fish of the day. So, and then obviously I had a co-angler fish with me on Thursday who helped me find a spot. So I would definitely say practice paid off for this event. I put a lot of time into this event. And again, 13 pounds, 10 ounces. That is in the check line almost every time in the BFL. In a BFL, 13.10 is normally always going to get you paid on the boater side. It did not this time. They paid out 15 places. I finished 16th. So literally the fish I lost here at the side of the boat cost me. It cost me big by my calculations. At a minimum, it cost me, over $700. And but overall, I'm not fishing BFLs for money. I don't care, payouts are good and all that kind of stuff, but it's more about the end game for me fishing these BFLs. So I'm not gonna get beat up too bad about not, finishing inside that money line. But overall, I think it was a good day. I think I got better as an angler. I got to experience that Mayfly hatch, catching fish around that, and I got to see a bunch of big fish. Right, a 6-pounder. I know I lost a 5. I caught a 4, caught a couple of 3s, and so it was overall good day, good event, and we can't complain too much. So yeah, so I don't know what else to say about it. Overall, good day. What's on the docket next? We're going back north next. We're going back to the Potomac River. Got a thing going on there, and then after the Potomac River, I'm thinking we're going to make a real trip north to go catch some smallmouth. I don't know for sure yet. It's leaning that way though. But anyhow, that's what's on the docket. Appreciate you guys watching this one, and I will see you on the next one.